Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure. We're sat out here in the middle of a river. All aboard my new river ferry. Woohoo! I appreciate you're not particularly thrilled about the prospect of a new river ferry, but I mean, you know, just deal with it. We're heading into Castle Rock at the moment, where there will be precisely no passengers waiting, because it's a line that is still establishing itself. There's plenty of starch in that Swiss flag. There is plenty of starch in that Swiss flag. Actually, I've not watched this dock yet. I wonder if it raises itself up, or whether the passengers have to just lob themselves on a measure of faith to get into the boat. Yep. A little ladder kind of effort here wouldn't go amiss, but hey ho, there it is. Right, there you go. That's what I built while you were away. I have also, so here we go. This is Castle Rock, which at the moment is only connected by every means imaginable. I stuck in a new roundabout. That's tasteful. We've got a commuter line that runs out here to the new bus station, tram station that we've got going on there. I'm hopeful that the AI will decide, oh, you know what, I might build something there. That'd be very charming of it. And we'd all be pleased if that were to take place. There you go. Look, we've got a tram coming in now with no passengers aboard. Good. It'll pick up. People will desire it eventually, or not, as the case may be. My bank balance is currently flush because it is. Oh, I've built an island as well, and it's ugly right now, so don't look at it. Yeah. What's it for? Scenery. Yeah, but it's ugly right now, so you shouldn't look at it. I also fixed all of my train routes by adding internal commuting taxi lines, basically, for just like simple bus services. Everything is running at a profit, apart from the new boats, but they'll get there. They're a little bit clustered right now. Where does it go? It goes Castle Rock to Shady Palms, and eventually it will do Shady Palms, Castle Rock, Dirge, Castle Rock, Shady Palms. That's what I'm thinking. And I might put in a river taxi using an even smaller boat to link up something with something else. But I'm not doing that right now because you want trains, I want trains. Let's do some trains. Right, the trains in question, I'm thinking El Dorado. I was initially thinking go from Moorpork, because at present, Moorpork is connected to Ankh via a commuter service, and it's then also, there's a light rail tram, there's one here. Now, let's go look at it. Here we go. Right, that does Findus. I think we could possibly do with a new tram. No, that's Artisan. Okay, it's an Artisan tram. Ding ding. And that's providing a connection between Findus and Ankh Moorpork, which is absolutely delightful. And I'm not going to replace it. I'm going to leave that tram line well enough alone, because look at the damage it does to traffic. It's a delight and a wonder for all to behold. So yeah, so I'm going to leave that alone, because I was thinking maybe a little cross river route. You know, you could do Erie, Findus, Ankh to Moorpork, and then keep going. Yeah. But I mean, that's very traditional. I'm trying to avoid the traditional while still doing something that is going to be profitable. So, El Dorado. Right, yeah. And I was thinking, El Dorado out here, this is going to be horrendously expensive. El Dorado out to Bloodhaven, and that's not an easy angle to take. So I think the Bloodhaven station's going to be on the bottom edge as we look at it now, and then also curve out to Moorpork, but in such a way that a Moorpork station could connect to Bloodhaven later on. Maybe. Don't know. But onward thinking, El Dorado to Failurwood Hills, through the mountains. And that's there's the trick. It's over here. It's this way. Just over here, this way a bit. Keep going. It's in this crater. Yeah, what am I letting myself in for here? Expense is what you're letting yourself in for? Yeah, unless... no, expense is what you're letting yourself in for. Alright. I was thinking in here, right? That's the obvious place for it. If we look at it a little bit more top downy, in here is kind of that's the proper obvious locale. But I then thought, well, what if you plateaued? I don't have a plateau fixation. No, I genuinely don't. But that is half of the purpose of what we're making. Build an elevated station up here that is plateaued on there, providing a bus route to get into El Dorado itself so people actually use the flipping thing. And then we'll trundle along mountainside. But you see, this mountain doesn't do the necessary bit, so we'd need a span going across here, which will either look good or it won't. I'm going to go with your mileage may vary before doing a pretty abrupt turn to come in at the top side of North Haven, bottom side, but this side of North Haven, Bloodhaven. Yeah, it's a heck of a lot of trees here. I know, they look good, don't they? Okay, well, you know, time waits for no man. When it does, you can pause recording and think about it before you get stuck in. Now, the other option, of course, is to go this side. But if I want to have a route that eventually ends up swooping down and out over here, which I do, then I think your choices are going to be somewhat limited. Yeah. I mean, I like it as a project. All right, are we going in? We are going in. First job, let's get rid of some of these trees so I can see what I'm working with. Right, give me. Yes, thank you. All right, let's get rid of these. Yeah, okay. All right, I'll probably end up putting them back in again, but I just want to be able to get eyes on for the time being. So if I then switch out to the old terrain tools and we get the old flatten tool, which is by far and away the most majestic beast that ever strolled the land before an asteroid wiped it out, and go at this height, right? Yeah, like that. That's quite nice. Yeah, it is, because you could end up in a way that sent it straight into a tunnel, which would look good as well. Okay, all right. I think I've settled on it already. You see, yeah. You and your housing footprints. It's disgraceful. It shouldn't be allowed. Another business closing down. Yep. Good. Yeah. No, I upped the tempo on how quickly industries will close down, and I also set the number of industries I want to be lower in order to make the industrial challenge a little bit greater. So the reason I haven't turned my attention back to freight recently, I'm waiting for that to kind of catch up to where I want to be. So grind just a little bit further. Why have I got so much money in the bank now? Because every line that I'm running is profitable, and so every route you do, you just increase the profit yet further. Right, I guess we go buildings here. Well, I got a new station mod. It's in the collection already. Italian stations. And you go, oh, swanky pants. And I go, yeah, my pants are well swanky. Now, you could keep this as a little short line. 160 is my standard. It's certainly not going to be high speed. That's for sure. Yeah. I mean, I like the building that we've got there. Yes. What are the other choices? I haven't looked at this yet. That's a cargo station. That's your choices. Okay, right, fine. Stick with that. Stick a bus depot next to it, bus station, and then go from there. Double track it. Yeah, we'll double track it, because the intention is to carry on further from here. Whether or not this ends up being a through, you've clicked bulldozer there accidentally. Whether this ends up being a through route or not, I don't know. It might be that I have services coming in from either end, both terminating here. It will depend on what I reckon and what I fancy at the time. But there you go, instant commitment. No messing around. Trying to tasteful this up a little bit. Yeah, sure, what else can I have? Well, you've got station bit stuff going on there, which is amazing. I mean, arguably more than you want or need. What about the large main building? Oh, I think that looks great. Yeah, and then you've got the tiddly little ticket office next to it. These are good, and there's a toilet for people who need one. That's nice. We'll put one over that side as well, in case people on that platform need one. That's very generous of you. Well, we've got plumbing, so, you know, why not? And a management office. Yeah, okay. All right, and then leave it alone. All right, okay, I'll leave it alone. What do you want to do first? Track, which is going to take up the lion's share of the operation here, or do you want to put your buses in? I'm going to put the buses in, and I'm even going to start them running. That way, there's a fighting chance they'll be ready by the time I need them. Yeah. Now, what are you going to put out here? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say I need more bus station mods. These are fabulous in terms of appearance. In terms of practicality, maybe not quite so good. So I'll stick a basic in here for the time being. Yeah, it slots in quite nicely. Yeah, I know, but I mean, it doesn't forgive that it's a very boring vanilla bus station. Yeah, but it's function, and that's no bad place to start your life. Yeah. Would you mind going away? Thank you. All right. All right, and then what does that look like? I imagine pretty terrible. It's not great. It's a little bit too steep. I spent all of the port building episode, I spent going, it's too steep, that's too steep, this is too steep, it's too steep. Everything about this is steep and I don't like it. And that's mostly because my intention was to use trams all over the place, and I have. But of course, trams and hills are not the best buddies in the world. Move it up just a little. There you go, try that. Yeah, that's, you know, I know, that's, I mean, very noticeably horrible. Okay. Like this. And what have you ended up with? That's not quite as awful. And I even like this wiggle that it's doing. And Sam's Diner there, well, that's me, so I mean, I can afford to let that go, and have done. Right. A bit of smoothage here might help the AI out in not making this an eyesore when it eventually gets round to doing something with it. Oh, yeah, you convince yourself of that if you wish. Right, okay, so we've got that. Smoothing additional here required. There you go. Yeah, but what all you've done there is blandified it. Yeah, but if I now pepper it with trees and rocks and the occasional teenager who's outside with a bottle of cider, that will be, you know, that'd be nice. Maybe an old tyre. Yeah, I mean, that feels pseudo-naturalistic. Right, and then we need bus stops for the bus people. Okay. Do you think you can get away with 2? Well, I mean, you can get away with 1. I mean, look at that. That bus stop is covering the whole town. Yeah, but I mean, we've demonstrated previously that people really can't be bothered to walk very far. So I'm going to put 1 out there. We'll put 1 just offset from the middle. Thus, and we'll do it on both sides. And that's faintly optimistic, but you never know. Someone might want to travel out there and go, I'm delighted at my choices. And then we'll go 1 of them, 1 of those, 1 of that. It's going to turn around in the roads, back to here, and then back to El Dorado Exchange. So this is going to be Eldo, and it's Eldo Commuter. Right, 2 little buses will do the job just fine, and it's going to be a loss maker in the first instance until such a time as it isn't. Do you want to build a bus station out here? I mean, I ought to, but I don't want to. It feels wrong to do so. Alright, well, what are you going to do then? Cart them in from elsewhere. It's going to take them 3/4 of an hour to arrive. That's why we're setting up early. Okay, that's a shipyard. That doesn't help you either. Where is the nearest? There's a tram depot. No. There's an airport. There's a road depot at Ankh. Sure. Yeah. No, we'll arrange for delivery. Alright. Okay. Yeah. What do we want? Buses. When do we want them? Buses. Now then, what am I feeling like today? Well, you want something dinky and country. What about the Tusher? That'll do 10 passengers. That'll do nicely. There you go. I'll take a pair of those, please. It's not going to make any money. It's not the point. The point is later on it might. And it might help fuel this town into being something amazing that people will go, that's amazing. And therefore I'm prepared to gamble on that being a thing. Interesting. You've chosen a terrible place for this station because you're going to come out here, assuming I take a straight line, which I most definitely will not, and then do an abrupt 90-degree turn. There. Yeah, I do a handbrake turn. In a train. Yeah, baby. Yes. All right. Speak to me of alternate ideas. Well, Moorpark is going to be a draw, right? Moorpark is where we're definitely going to want to end up in some fashion or another at some point. So you could always swerve out that way instead. So instead of doing an abrupt, right, you could do a gentle, nuke that farm, and head out to Moorpark. The problem with that is that is a 2 point-to-point service job. Except you're going to extend to Faileywood Hills. Oh, so you could have the start of a line here in Moorpark that heads down Bloodhaven, Shady Palms, Dirge, etc. And then have another line that swerves up here. All right, Bloodhaven, you're off the menu, son. Okay, we're going. Right, it's a plan. That's a scheme. Now then, what's on the subject of schemes? What is the scheme here? Do you really want to be flattening and targeting now, or do you want to put the track in and then retrospectively sort the land out? Let's start with track and see where we get to. Okay, this might end up looking really, really great. It might end up that we just obfuscate so much detail that it doesn't look great. Now, I've got electrification here. I was thinking about this when I was looking at more mods. And what I was contemplating was maybe differentiating different types of rail service based on the type of locomotive that it uses. That, of course, is an utterly meaningless statement without any further context. So allow me to give you some context. Therefore, passenger lines, steam. And then freight may be electric. That's as far as I got with it. And I thought, that could be quite good fun. Right, so we'd knock this out so you don't have a tunnel there. It doesn't need one. I'm not going to avoid tunnels all the way along, but it doesn't need one there. Yeah, okay. I am going to put the tunnel in now. Then I'll come back after I've finished the route, and we'll get rid of the bits we don't need. This is exactly the kind of route that I wanted to build as well. This cresting along the side of a mountain. Fabulous. Now then, we're heading for Moorpark. So we're going to need a span, and it's going to be here. So I think we span across, then tunnel. Oh, that's everything you like. I know. In one place. There we go. Right, span across, then a tunnel, then a pier over here. And we'll work out what happens then in a minute. Let's have a look at what we've got. Okay, yes. Yeah, that's a nice bit of bridge. The trees are hiding how tall it is, but even then, it's a big fat viaduct, so I'm relatively comfortable with that anyway. You get a cheeky tunnel underneath the road. That's a lot of fun. The only thing I think I'd change might be the exit angle. We could come out topside here, which would mean I wouldn't need to drop elevation quite so quickly. So have the tunnel on a curve. Okay. Yeah. So I don't even need to do very much here. I just make a minor adjustment. There you go. Where's it? Where are we emerging? Well, you've emerged here, and then you've got another bridge. Oh, this is starting to shape up nicely. Right, and maybe go about as far as there. And then gradually decrease altitude until we hit about there. My natural instinct is always to put my stations near the river, but I think in this case, I'm not going to do that. In fact, I might even go for take out these two roads and all of the buildings in between, slap a station in the middle, and allow it to be a proper kind of city centre hub station terminus. Yeah. Now, are we going to stick with the stone bridges? Again, yes, and I think I might come back and tweak them, but I don't know that for sure, so I'm going to leave that alone for the moment, and we'll see where we get to if I just straight line this. So ending up there. Yeah. Now, that's with no change in elevation at all. Ah. Yeah, there's a bit of a challenge going on, but that is 1,300 metres, so almost a mile of track. We can certainly decrease the elevation that we're dealing with before then. See? No problem. No problem. You don't want to go that steep. I know. I'm not even thinking of this as a I'll make it work. No. I'm going to do a bit of wiggling on the way down. In order to bleed off the excess height that we've got going on. But I think I will start by finishing. What? I'll go from the other end. Oh, right, okay. Right. Yeah. Eradicate all of this. Do you need to eradicate that? Let's say yes for the sake of argument. You sure that you haven't just removed all of one type of goods that you might be using? Oh, I can't make any promise. You know what else? I've got an idea. Okay. Yeah. It might be a bad idea, but I've got an idea and I'm going to pursue it. This is something that I threatened to do from the outset of this escapade, which was endeavour to flatten parts of these cities, which are very much affected by the terrain generation, in order to make bits that are flat that then integrate with the bits that are more rambunctious, like here. Interesting. Yeah, I'm less interested in nuke the entire city, flatten it. Obviously doing it in such a way that it will rebuild. I'm more interested in just building bits that actually feel like a genuine city centre. I don't know. Maybe it ends up not looking that great, but it's not something that I've particularly explored before. Normally, why would you do that? Why? Stop it. It's foolish. Putting a lump in the flipping road. What are you doing there? Sorry, I thought I still had the terrain tools. Well, you didn't. Alright, there you go. That needs just a little bit of that's craziness going on there. Be careful. No, historically, I've flattened out only the bits that I need, and then I've gone on a random terraforming rampage. It's still doing it. Why are you doing this? Do that. Ah, see? Not so clever now, are you? No. Ah, see, I press a button and all of the things happen in a way that you hadn't foreseen. But I'd rather hoped. Right, leave that alone. But that gives it a little bit of opportunity. You're going to need a crossing of some kind from this side to the other. Well, I've got this ruddy great hill going on here, and I also can't rule out that the train won't be emerging from a tunnel, or more likely coming in over a viaduct. I pointed at the screen there in a very accusatory fashion. You missed it, but that's why I'm telling you. Right, now we'll stick with it doesn't mean anything. Right, we'll stick with this Italian get up because I'm rather taken by it. We'll have it right next to the bus station, or will we? See, I like this as an idea that will then allow the AI to build up on either side. So then all I need to do is figure out how best to. That's how best to. Yeah, it really is. That's actually quite nice. Yeah, all right, look around the other side. Yeah, Right, go straight through that person's front room. But they're eating dinner. Well, they'll just have to eat dinner later. There we go. Yeah, I like it. I know some of you get really upset that I've just bulldoze towns all the time. But I want to make it thing and whatnot. And therefore, sometimes... Because if you look at modern, European particularly, but no, actually it extends to the US as well, modern train station locations, the towns have already grown up, have always grown up around the station, because it was a primary in and out for everything, really, that was more significant than a couple of blokes on horseback. What are you doing now? I'm going back here so that I can get a feel for which is which side of the track, because otherwise I'll get it wrong. Okay, it's a bit of a weird move. It is a bit of a weird move, I agree. However, there is madness in the method. Now, what you could do is another challenge. I'm bouncing around a bit, I apologise. Yeah, so historically, towns would grow around the station. Now, obviously, because these towns are already established and they're growing up, they're not going to grow around the station unless you retroactively slap it in where it would have been originally, which would be right in the heart of the city. So, I'm trying to convince you that what I'm doing is in the spirit of authenticity. Do you reckon they'll buy that? I don't think there's a chance they'll buy that, but I think, you know, that's the horse we're going to attempt to ride into this narrative, so we'll see how we get on. Right, okay. Now leave that there. Think about your wiggling in a minute. Let's get some initial track coming out this way. How quickly can you get to the point of elevation where you can bridge underneath it? Asking for a friend. Okay, I probably won't pursue this actively. You won't, because there you go, you've hit a tunnel there already. Okay, so if you were to go there, I'm not anti this tunnel. No. But what I am anti is I'm going to need a little bit of flat here in order to create the traditional junctionage that one requires at a station approach. Okay, right, super. Now, that way, small elevation. Yeah, going to spend a lot of time underground here, bruv. Yeah, well, we've got another span coming up there. Where are we heading? Here. How are you going to work this? I might try constant downwards, go round there, keep constantly going down, go round the far side of this, by which time it should have bled off enough to hook on. Well, if it comes off, it's going to look lovely, probably, unless it spends too much time underground, which is obviously not what we don't want. Okay, well, let's see where we end up. Yeah, now you're speed restricted to 90 on these stone bridges. Yeah, that's not going to get you there. You're going to need to slow down even more. It's going to make it hard to make a profit. Yeah, and stop going uphill, please. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to have a swing at this with one notch of down bubble, and then I may need to revisit to down bubble further. Yeah, but we'll see how we get on. Tunnel. Cheeky tunnel leading to side of cliff bridge. I think this might work, you know. Yeah, but it's very slow. This is a scenic series, and therefore slow is acceptable. Ah, we're still a little high. Where's my connection point? It's there. You've got time. Okay, good. All right, then we'll flex as far as here, maybe even further still. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, and then try a connection and see what we win. Too much slope. Ah, bum. Okay. It don't look close, though. It is close. Now, this last bit is also underground. So the solution is going to be either... I mean, chances are we'll be backing up a bit. So go out this way a little further before hooking round. Means a span across there, which is not awful, but it's not ideal. Yeah. Or on the swoop outward leg that we've got here, go further this way before heading back in. And there is going to be some part of this that is using maximum uphill / downhill. Which do you prefer? Downhill every day. No. Which do you prefer route wise? I think we're going to try this one. Okay. Just to see if I can get some nice views. Okay. Aren't you above the surface here anyway? No, I'm not. I'm in a tunnel. Okay. Don't mind a little bit of tunnel, but the emphasis is on little bit of tunnel, not lots and lots of tunnel. Lots and lots of tunnel leads to nothing to look at, other than, look at the texture of the tunnel there. Yeah. I don't know if you've ever been in the, on Eurostar, going through the Channel Tunnel, but let me tell you, you might be going proper brisk through the tunnel, but it's very boring. Because there is absolutely nothing to see, because you're in a tunnel. Yeah. It's a masterful feat of engineering, and everything else that you would usually send it as far as plaudits were concerned. It's jolly efficient, it gets you where you're going, it's very quick, but it's very boring. Yeah. Once you come out in France, it's also very boring, actually. The landscape coming out in France is very, very flat, very farmy. You're saying Kent is better? That's not what I said. You're putting words in my mouth there. Yeah, but what Kent is providing instead is a smidge of variety. Okay. Yeah. All right. This is debatable. Yeah, we're on a maximum downslope at this point. And resolve. Too much slope. There isn't too much slope. What are you talking about? That's fine. How much slope are we talking about? Oh, you've got a weird connection going on there. Alright, well maybe I nuke this bit of tunnel. And we try a more straightforward go from here to there connection and see what it does. Where's it gone? It's over here somewhere. Yeah. It's too much slope. Okay. We're close. Yeah, but close doesn't get you what you want. What else could I do? I mean, you can bow out your curves further. That's always an option. This one has already gone as far as I'm willing to take it, and I'm not particularly thrilled about the spectacle that you're going to get along the way. Yeah. All right. So continue round here. So we'll keep that. This connection point with this lump will swerve out that way a little bit further, maybe as far as there, before then curving round, maybe even curve round the far side of this hillock before connecting. The odds I make a profit off this line are dropping with every additional 100 metres of track that I stick in. I've already sacrificed a lot of speed and making it go further as well. Unless this train is packed at all times, it's not going to turn any money. Well, they can't all be winners. No, but that's half the goal. Half the goal is as many as possible are winners. And normally I pursue that as a course of action to go, well, that way, you see, my profitable lines can carry the unprofitable ones. This is a dismal bit of tunnel as well. Are you happy if we do that? Yeah. Really, I was that close. It's all in tunnel. I think it makes up for it with the rest of the line. Alright, I've thought about it for a minute. And I think I'm going to go with run it and revise it. Rather than try and fix it all on day one. And I don't know what's going on with this weird corner. No, I think it only looks weird from a height. Okay. Yeah, we'll see what it's like to ride. Because that's the bit we care about, right? I know already that no money will be made from this route. Not right now, anyway. I will then, challenge myself to make it turn a profit, no matter how modest. Stone me, this is a painfully slow corner, and it's uphill. Painfully slow, harsh corner, and uphill. That's a recipe for your bank manager would like a word. What word would he like? You don't appear to be making any money. That kind of word. Yeah. I like this corner, though. It's a bit racetracky. That's not a bad thing. It's only this tunnel that really offends me. The others, I think I can live with. It's a tricky one. Because, of course, unless you are playing purely for profit, right? And instead you're playing for the spectacle of the thing and the enjoyment of the everything, right? Then where were you going with this? Then the scenery becomes everything. If you are just happy playing for profit, then you don't need to worry about scenery at all. Now then, yeah, put a signal on there, and then we'll stick a couple up the other end of this tunnel. I don't know how many trains are going to run on here, but let's assume more than one, because if you're one way, because if you assume more than one, then you're never wrong, unless you are. Yeah, I mean, I could run this as just single track, but nah. Always assume you're going further than you start out, or that you're going to want to. But saying that, it's quite a good wheeze to have to go back and relay lines later on because you need them to have greater capacity. I always think. Well, not always, but I think that today. So there you go. Right, okay. Now then, this is your final bit of approach here. A little bit of terraforming to tidy this up will do the power of good. You're going to keep that cheeky little tunnel. It's not totally horrible. It's quite sweet. And given the amount of tunnelage you've got going on later, I mean, what difference is it really going to make for you? None. That's how much. Okay, yeah. I'll consider it. Alright, well, consider it quickly, because we're about there. Yeah, I might leave it alone. See? There you go. That's a positive attitude. I might even make it a little bit... I don't know where I was going with that. I might even make it a little bit more embedded in the world. By which I mean, make it look like it's actually necessary. Yeah, that more smoothage is required there to make that look better. Now, you just need to figure out where you're going to put a train depot. Oh, for God's sake, I've no idea. None of this is conducive to having a depot stuck in. Yeah, tricky. Yeah, most tricky. Well, you could go out the other side of Moor... No, there is no beyond Moorpork. Moorpork's the end of the line. Oh. Yeah. Oh, indeed. You could do... See, look, they're all moving back in. They've gone... Oh, progress is about to occur. And I go, yeah, flipping right it is. We could just do a cheeky branch off here. Keep it flat. I'm doing it there because, yeah, I know the diamond's in the flipping way. There's nowhere good to do it. Why don't you just stick one in over here somewhere, right? Alright, hold on. I don't want to put one there, though. Well, you're going to have to put one somewhere. having a depot here might be interesting. You could knock the cliff back a little bit further, which obviously that too needs further terraforming doing. Knock it back a little bit further and put it here. Yeah, okay, go on then. I mean, I'm not thrilled. This is not choice number one. In which case, put it in and make it look good by spending many, many hours fooling around with dirty textures and other assorted gubbins to make it look great. Sure. Okay, right, put that there. See, it's also got its own little access point to the bathroom. That'll make your workforce very, very happy. Will it? I think it'll probably take a little bit more than that. Maybe, you know, an aggressive pay rise to make them happy. I think they might go, bathroom. All right. Well, I should think so too. What do they expect us to do? Hold it. Yeah, okay, that's too much everything. Yeah, that's too much horror story right there. Give me that. Drag it over here. But not yet. Okay, go again. And this time do it better. Oh, this is... I know, I apologise. I'm making a massive, great compromise just to get this in. I hate it. That's too strong. I almost hate it. That's better. Yeah. You should reserve hate for things that truly deserve it. Alright, out we go. Come on. No. No. Chuffing diamond junctions. I know. Why don't you just remove the junction and then put it back in when you can figure out somewhere to put it? Alright. How about that? In fact, you could use this branch as a starting point of your junction. If you double slip that. In fact, if you double slip that, then job's done. Oh, yeah, I suppose so. Right. Now, stop complaining. Honestly. Right. Route. Yes. This is a horrible idea. Oh, hush. It'll be fine. There you go. There's even someone waiting, look. He's gone, I got on the bus. I ended up here. There's nothing here. Please take me home again. And then down to Moorpork. Can't connect all stations. That'll be one-way signalling. Alright. Come back to it in a moment. It'll be one-way signalling. I haven't missed any track. Haven't you? I might have missed some track. Okay. So, oh, maybe it's the station, the terminal assignment. So we want you coming in on terminal that one. Terminal 2. There you go. Has that fixed it? No. Okay, well, we will fix it. Don't worry. Yeah, come in on there and then swing back out that way using the slip junction. Use some signals just to let people know which way they should be facing and which way they shouldn't. Okay. And then make sure we've not missed any track or got signals facing wrong. That's the other thing that's quite plausible. Incorrectly facing signals. No, there. Found it. Yeah. That'd do it. That would do it. That's no longer red and angry. Super. Good. Right, that was easy. Yeah. Now, I'm eager as punch to ride on this. I'm not entirely sure if that means anything, but I'm eager. Right, steam locos. Now, I've also added another couple of steam locos. All of these are in the mod collection, which is available on the workshop right now. Which did you just add? I think I added... Hang on, I've got it on my list. Yeah, I did. I added the 241p. Now, normally I'd jump straight on it. But this is a speedy train. It is a bit. And this is not a speedy route. No. Well, have you got anything better suited? Something that is a little bit more mountain railway oriented. We'll probably end up vanilla here. See, this is better. That I could do with a bit more tractive effort, if I'm honest. That's too slow. 75 kilometers an hour? No, 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 no. There's 100 with 100 kilonewtons of tractive. See, 90 would be absolutely ideal. Well, use it then. There's nothing to stop here. I mean, apparently it's still in service until 1970, which I find challenging to believe, but not impossible. Right, okay. Give me some wagons to go with this. What are we going to be using? The six-wheeler might work. I've got the Orient Express as well. Not for this line. This line, probably not. What about the Donnerbuscher? Yes. It needs little dinky carriages rather than anything hefty. We don't want to use the French stuff. It's overrated for this route. Yeah, okay. We'll use these. I know it's vanilla and therefore not very exciting. 51. One more. 68. A little 4-wagon special. Okay. Yeah. There you go. All right. Put it on. Line 1. Okay. We do want to watch it emerge. No, hang on. I'm going to change the name of the line first. I can't live with it being wrongly named for long. Eldo. Yeah. Eldo to Morp. Isn't it Ankh these days? Well, this one's definitely going to Morp, so we'll go with Morp. Scenic. Right, it needs a better name that evokes, but it needs a lot of things, and I'll concern myself with what I need to evoke further a little later on. This is going to look quite nice. If I can get anybody riding it, it'd be super. See, and with only 68 passenger maximum capacity, it's going to struggle to make any money. It does look nice, though. I mean, it makes sure it's vanilla, but what a well-proportioned locomotive with its carriages. You go through the little tunnel there. What do you think? Ride on or ride alongside? Well, I mean, if you keep doing this, you get to soak in a view like that. Looks like it's going uphill, which it really shouldn't be doing. It's not going uphill. You don't know that. It's true. There you go. Here's another view opportunity. This is nothing but view opportunities. That's not terrible. I know it's just skirting along the top of the screen, but that was quite pleasant, wasn't it? Okay, right. Then we're under the road. Then we're going to come out over here. Why don't you try the inside of the curve? You usually head for the outside of the curve. Right about there. One wonders if plugging in a joypad controller would give me some nice analog camera movement options. That's nice. Yep, that is good. You've done it again. That might end up being the thumbnail for this episode. Okay, and we're coming around here. Actually, this is a good way to preview it because it's allowing me to see which bits of landscape, if I opted to tidy it up and make it incredibly glamorous, I would need to spend the most time on. Yeah. Okay, let's go inside curve again and see how that looks. It'll be here in a minute. It's busy negotiating complex corners in the middle of a tunnel. Not bad, not great. I think we've exhausted that as a viewing option. What about this? Not bad. Move your cursor. Not bad. Not bad. We're just going to. I'm going to go all the way along the line, going. Oh yeah, that's not bad. Not bad. Yeah, I think we're in the tunnel now, though. Okay. All right. Well, we're coming up on Moorpork. All right. We've got 3 routes going on there. Are we using 3 terminals? We are using 3 separate terminals. All right. We'll sit here and await our friend rocking up. I might de-electrify the station. Why do you do that now? I'm not entirely sure how I'd do it. It'll be there. It'll be misc. Will it? Is it? Maybe it's tracks. Oh, it's another one of these flipping mods that have gone like tracks and tracks and tracks and tracks and tracks, and they're all blue. And you kind of go, but I just want to remove the electrification. And it goes, tough. All right, well, it's heading back the other way. Well, I'll tell you what, we can knock out this side while he's doing that. And we can take the electrification off this side. Just careful not to destroy the entire station. I'm always careful. And if I'm destroying something, it's entirely deliberate. There you go. Right. You know what else? Single mast electrification looks quite nice, but nothing electrified is currently scheduled for here, so I'm going to remove it all. You know, the station at the other end is electrified as well, and you probably should have fixed that when you put it in the first place. We'll get over it. I saw a passenger waiting. There was a passenger waiting. How tremendous. You're going to have quite the wait there, senor. But I applaud you for stepping up and being the first man on the spot. Here's Luke. We are now gently rotating around Luke. And there we go. That's it. That'll do it for this time. Interesting. In the next one, there will be more trains. I'll do more trains for you in the next one. Because I think it's high time we started expanding a little further. And turning some of these shorter routes into something a little bit longer. So maybe I go chasing after a big fat express route that spans the entire length from top to bottom. What are you thinking? That's a heck of a lot of terrain work. But I could do the terrain work in advance, or we could start working on the big mega terminal. Yeah. I don't know. I'll think about it. Anyway, I've been Colonel Failure. Thank you very much for watching today. I'm just waiting to come out of this tunnel so that it looks nicer, and then we can go about our business. You ready? Okay, you ready to go about your business? Well, obviously I'm going to talk to the camera in a minute, but I'll do that now, shall I? Yeah. Cheerio! So I anticipate this one isn't going to make quite as much money as well, it's not going to make any money for the moment. It might trickle in a small amount of cash, but will it? Will it really? I don't think so. Not until I make that connection out to Faileywood Hills. That's the point at which I think it will start to pay off. But what occurred to me, which is more interesting still, in my head at least, is what if... Finish the sentence? Yeah, what if I were to take some freight out there? So to El Dorado particularly. If I could make El Dorado huge, then that would be amazing. But yeah, grab some freight and take it out there to grow the city a little bit further. And then you'll be packing the trains and you'll turn a profit, even though those trains are not running in a profitable fashion. Having max capacity is a good way to turn the cash, even if the route itself is not all that profitable. So, yeah, I don't know. I think ploughing forward and getting it out to Faileywood is the obvious next step. But from that point on, it should start to make cash. But then look at maybe running a freight train line alongside the passenger route, or maybe it's a shared line. I think having it as a shared line is a bad idea. A slow freight would probably do the job nicely. Anyway, I'm enjoying the challenge of trying to get good looking without totally inefficient lines set up. Yeah, I am. I hope you are as well. Good.